Hello, everybody. It's Linda with Copperhead Collectibles. Happy Thursday, January 7th, 2021. Just thought I'd give you an update on my 2020 new uncirculated box that I had back in December. But I have been so busy, I have not been able to get through all of them. So I figured I'd let you guys look at them with me and see what you think. And maybe you might even know what some of these errors are, and you can give me some inputs on that, on my knowledge of the errors, or at least the what to call them. So, anyways, no further ado, let me show you what I've got, and we can go through here and see what I have for errors. Like I said in my other videos, I like to start on the the adverse side of the coin, and that way I know where I'm at. And looks like that eye has a little damage in it. Strike through kind of thing. Right through that eye right there. That line's all straight through it. I'm not sure if that's coming from the mint, because there's quite a few lines through there, different points. But I move it around a little bit just so I can get different angles, because the lighting sometimes can hide or show an error. And so I like to move around to get the different perspectives of the coin as I look through it. And I can't keep all errors that I see, just because I could never, there's so many errors on coins, it's almost surprising, or at least it seems that way. I can't keep all of the ones I see. It's just, I can't afford to, unfortunately. So I have to pick and choose which ones I'm going to keep. And they generally have to have a good error, or two or three. So there's an error there. Excuse me. Right over here on the side. Can't see unless it's over on this side of the coin. So, and you always see the same shape. So it must be something that they have around that other things have been on other coins. And it always gives that U shape, half a circle, kind of indented mark. So looking at the Virgin Islands. This is a 2020, as you can see. Salt River Bay. And sometimes I'm not sure if I'm seeing this as a doubling. See, because that kind of looks like a doubling to me on all of this. Some of this seems to have it, sometimes it don't. I don't know if it's just shadowing, or if there really is errors like that on these coins. See, because you can see it over here too. So, I often question these. I haven't been keeping them. Like, this kind of looks like an error, but I don't know. So if anyone has any, advice on these, being down here on these little roots, I'm going to call them as roots, please let me know, because that's kind of hard to call, because I do see it quite often, but I'm not sure if it's just like I said, the shadowing of the actual die. So anyways, I'm going to toss that one into my little cup that I collect them, and call that one a goner. And you can see this one I'll put up here, and this one's one of the 2019s that are supposed to be uncirculated. There's a little mark on the rim. And there's common errors around the ears. Oops, my bad. Around the ears. I haven't seen one of those kind of errors yet. But I'm always looking at the words. I see more errors in the words, I think, than anything. So it seems like a little error there on that T. It almost looks doubled in that angle. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but this one's got a lot of rainbowing. The coloring's incredible on this coin. This is a 2019. I could tell just by the coloration of this coin. The 2020s are not as pretty in color. And you can see, here I'll give you back the 2020 and watch the difference of the two finishes on this coin. See how it's pretty in purples and all the different colors in there? And I'll put this one back up and see how much duller it is. Still got color, but it's not as vibrant and pretty and sharp looking as this one is. So you can see the difference. That's the 2020 there. Just doesn't have the same finish as these 2009s. Every time I put a 2009 coin up on my, I don't even have to look, because I know it's 2019 just by the way it looks on the screen, by the color and the finish on it. And I do put them away and keep them, and that's a nice little mark right there. See these kind of marks? I'm assuming that's probably a good error to keep. But like I said, I cannot keep all errors. I have to keep ones that I know are errors. But I'm assuming that's probably a pretty good error for someone that's really knowledgeable on this stuff. I'm still learning, so. But it's an adventure that I'm absolutely loving. And really enjoying myself. And trying to do these videos for you guys as often as I can, and having fun doing that. I need to get a little bit better at my website and so forth, and I'm going to get like a soundboard to work with my videos. First I need to learn how to do other things first, so I'm pacing myself. So we're going to throw that one back. Shouldn't have thrown that hard. That was a hard throw. I didn't mean to. And there's a nice little error right there in his head. You guys can see that pretty well. And that one's got a nice cut right through the E. So there's two good errors. Something wrong with that end too. That little rim cut, but this one here has got a little cut right there. So that might be interesting. And the O right there. And that A right here. It looks like it's a little bit filled in the middle there on that A. As you can see how much clearer this one is. So you can see how much more filled that is. It might be an illusion. I'll have to zoom in really close to really make a judgment on that. Some air on that N. There's a rim air there, looks like, possibly. And that A is a mess right here. It's got lots of little pud marks in it. Little pod holes, I call it. We have lots of pod holes in Florida. Wow, look at that. Whoa, I didn't even see that till now. Look at that. Big old staple mark. That's what I'm thinking they have to be, because I see this so much, but that's a really good one. We'll be keeping this coin. That's definitely going in the error department. So those are good things to show. That's a really good example, because I do see that error quite often on coins. And I'm not sure what falls on the coin to give that illusion, but there's something that is actually causing. I hope you guys can see this. Let me move this over so I can see what you're getting. Yes, you can see that. Yeah, you can see that mark. That is definitely not, I'm gonna move my camera over. See what you guys are seeing here a little better. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a really great error. So let's flip this one over, see what's on the back. And this one's got errors on it in the full sense on the back, or in the front, on the first side. There's a little lines there, and there's a little mark there. But that's like nitpicking, if I call it, because that's just, you know, it's not going to be worth money. Anybody's not going to pay money to have a little tiny spot next to the V, you know, but they might pay for, you know, a staple mark that's through his, you know, his face like that. That was pretty obvious. And there's a mark, you don't see that, but that looks like a cut mark because that's all lined up. So that's something, maybe a piece of hair laid down on it when they stamp the coin, you know, something microscopic, you know, it could be just a thread off somebody's clothes that I don't know what really causes these errors. Be really interesting to go to a mint and actually ask what, you know, what does cause these actual minting marks. So that's something that looks weird with that R up there in the RAM. And there's some marks right there too, little potholes. See that? I think you can see it. Yeah, see, in certain angles you can see it. Okay, let's keep moving along. Now, you see the doubling again. You see it on those. I don't know if those are shadow lines or if it really is designed that way. I'm gonna have to find out. So if you have any advice on that, let me know. I'd love to get some good followers and hopefully learn, because I'm always ready to learn. I just checked the rim around. So this one's going into the keep pile. So what I'm going to do that I haven't been doing is start writing these up. So I always use a yellow Post-it. These are like my little tools I've had at my other videos. And we're going to call this a 2020, and that one is a D. And we have I'm going to call it a stamp through. Mark. Adverse is the one we're just going to acknowledge on face. Oops. So I remember what I'm looking at, and then I will put that in my, I'll put the coin right with it because the coin kind of sticks right to it, and we'll put it over here on the side and move on to another coin. See what else we can find. Let's get back to this 2020. I don't want to do the 2019 yet. I have a few of them to do. But I'm going to glance through it quicker just so we can get through more coins, because I'm looking for certain errors. There's lots of different errors, but if I find a big error, then I will keep a coin. But I'm looking for a particular, like the one you just saw with the staple they look like staples to me, shape of a stick, because I see that exact shape a lot. So there must be something that, maybe a piece of when they cut the coin, or, you know, something that gets something tiny comes off and gets on these coins, because I see it all the time. So there has to be something to them. When I first started seeing them, I didn't keep all those. And I had some really good, interesting ones before. I was like, well, these might be just from being circulated. And there's a little mark there, but nothing worth keeping. I always glance through this to see if there's any extra cud marks stamped on there. Some extra dye, a dye mark, or anything in them flowers. But nothing, so we're going to toss that one back and keep going. See what else we can find. I see some more errors on the head. Little errors here and there. Nothing to speak of. So let's flip the coin, check out the back. Salt River Bay. Glance through here. And if you don't see what I'm doing, but I'm turning my head. Otherwise, I'd have to turn the coin like this to get a straight view. That way, and I usually do, but I was just turning my head. That way you guys kind of get a straighter view, but this is really actually the way I would do this. So everything's kind of straight up and down for me. Because your brain will see errors because your mind knows what a U and an S or a VIGIN looks like. So when there's something wrong with it, your mind will see it. Because you know what an I looks like. You know what these letters look like. So you'll see that they don't look right. So if you put them in the right position of your mind, so you're viewing it correctly, your mind will see the errors. This is my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't know, but that's the way I look at it. That one's a goner too. Let's move on to another one. See, these are nice and dull. They're not as glossy looking, high finished as the 2019s. They did not put as much finish on this year's coin, or last year's coin, sorry. Last year. Take me a minute. Oh, no. Take me a minute to get used to saying 2022. 21. When there's a couple marks there. Being that we just left 2020, so. All right, nothing on this one. Let's flip her over and check her out the back. Hoping to show you some good errors and find errors with you, literally with you, because I have not looked through these coins. They're going to get rolled. I'll go through a whole roll and maybe like 2-3 rolls and call it quits for the day. But I got other things I got to do. See, now this has got a striking error, because if you see the top rim here, see how small it is? Let's say it's about the size of my eraser, okay? And now let me move it up to the bottom. Look how much more it is. So it's definitely misalignment on this coin, no doubt. There's a lot of that. I find that a lot, because I've been going through, $500 worth of the same exact coin. So I've gotten kind of accustomed to what I'm seeing. Like I was saying, those striping errors, they seem to be more on them than not. So that's why I think it's not an error, because I see them more than not. There's only once in a while I've actually seen one that didn't have any kind of shadowing to it. So, and I'm an artist, so I know all about shadowing and the illusion of. So it's one of those things. So I'm just going to call it, it's not an error. This is too many, unless they really misaligned a lot of coins. So, but yeah, this one is misaligned for sure. There's the top and the sides too. You can see how fat it is and then how skinny it gets up in here. And then it starts getting fat on this side again. So you can see that. But I'm not going to keep this. I'm going to let that for somebody else. So I've got a few of them already put away to keep. And there's a nice little spot right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Right there, I can see it on the screen, right here. 3 right in a row. And there's an indent on his chin. A little butt chin. He's got like a butt chin, with people that got the little butt chin, a little dent in their chin. That is kind of the same thing. So that's a pretty good error. I try to keep the errors that are on him. on Washington himself, because I think that's more of a valuable error than just a tiny little. There's another head mark. Not sure what that is. Looks like a little square almost. Three-sided square. Almost a square. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. So, yeah, you guys gotta. I love this computer. I'm using my my third computer. My laptop actually as my standing station. I have my two screens over there as my main computer, and I use my laptop, my old laptop. So now I have a Chromebook, which I just love, but it doesn't do everything I need, so I have to use my laptop. It does not work with my camera, actually, my Chromebook. I have to use my phone or my computer. It does not work with Chrome, just so you know. And I'll show you what my camera is. So you know this one does not work with a Chromebook, just so you know yourself. And here's my microscope, sorry. That is my microscope. I love it. It goes everywhere with me. It's portable. It's Wi-Fi. It's like 40 bucks. I'll put the link in for it. I got it on Amazon, and I've had it for probably a good year and a half now, and it's not failed me yet. So, but I am looking to get a new one. My birthday's coming up, unfortunately. My big 50. So I unfortunately don't get to go anywhere, as my man usually takes me somewhere special. I would like to go to Mount Rushmore. It's kind of what we wanted to do last year, 2020. But with COVID, unfortunately, we haven't done anything. I did have to go home to Florida in 2020 because my second grandson was born, so I had to risk going home, which was crazy, but I had to. My daughter's was high risk pregnancy, and so I think we're going to keep this one because it has that good marks, and it's got some marks on the front. We're going to keep this one. So, all right, so 20D, and we've got an obverse cut mark, chin, and forehead. All right. Boom, boom. Put it on the side, and I buy these envelopes, and I put these little sleeves, the plastic sleeves, and I write all the info on it, and anyways, sorry about that. So I put my coins in these, and they work perfectly after I find an error, and I write it on the front, and I slide it in, and I staple. And it actually keeps my coins from going anywhere, and I can go back in, and I will be actually entering these into my inventory on my computer program, Coin Management, and Coin Manage. So anyways, these are really handy to have, and I use them all the time. Use it for my stamps and for my coins, so I have versatile use. So let's go into another coin here. Do a few more coins here, and I'm gonna whip through them a few quicker because I'm looking, like I said, oh, there's a nice big one. Bam! See, like I'm telling you, there's that same shape. You see it? Plain as day, right on his head. Staple head there. So we're gonna keep that one, no doubt, and so we'll fly through the rest of it here. There's a couple more marks there too. But not as prominent as that one. So we're going to flip it over and see what's on the back real quick. And like I said, I've got almost trained eyes on, especially on these coins, because I'm looking at the same coin and I've got what, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, $130 to go, and I'm done. I looked through them all. All right, we're going to keep that one. That one's got a, again, it's 2020D odd verse staple mark is what I'm going to call it. On head. So we're going to see. So did that and put the coin right with it and put her down. And go to the next one. We're finding some good ones. It's because you guys are watching. That's why you're bringing me good luck. I do want to get through these and get back to the bank and get some new ones. A new box. And I was supposed to be getting a new box from my bank of $50, and my branch closed. I went there the other day to get my coins, if they had finally got them from the reserve, and the bank was closed. They had a big sign on the front that they were closed, and the branch was closed temporarily. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe somebody got sick with COVID or something. I don't know. But really disappointing. So I've got to kind of wait. I'll go to my other branch and talk to them and see what they'll do, because it might actually be nicer about it, because they will know that the other branch is closed and they're going to be slammed. That means my bank is going to have everybody in the area going to it. There's only like 2 branches in the area, so and it's a big bank, so it means there's going to be a lot of people standing in line. So I'll be kind of bummed. So I'm not going to keep this one. This has got nothing on it, nothing outstanding. Like I said, I always go back to the head real quick as I'm talking. I don't want to throw away something I missed here. And yeah, so I'm thinking I'll pull out some of my collection next week, and or maybe tomorrow. I don't know what's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I might do it tomorrow and show you some of the coins I've found so far. Some really good ones. I'll go through them and pull out a couple of the really good ones that I found. Some real doubling errors, and because you're not going to find the doubling in these. These are just too new, and I just think they've done so much better with creating these coins than they used to be. Machinery and everything, the alignment. So just don't produce as many errors, it don't seem, these current coins. But I'm hoping to get some kids involved, like my grandsons, and my oldest grandson's already getting involved. Oops, sorry. And he's already watched me do this, and I spent 2 months with him in 2020 waiting for my second grandson to be there. I had to kind of basically have him while my daughter had time to rest, and she was high risk, and so I wanted to be there extra time for her. And she ended up in the hospital for a long time, for about 7 days after my grandson was born, because she was having some blood pressure issues, and got real risky there for a little bit. Scared the hell out of me. I'll never forget it. As I couldn't go there because of COVID. So I couldn't even call her because we could not get her blood pressure up at all. No emotion, and her talking to her mama would give her emotional, so they told me to not call and let her just sit in a quiet room and rest and nurse the baby.
I don't know that.
There goes my Alexa. I don't know why she's listening, but she is listening. But oh, it looks like a little error in there. See that right there? That looks wrong. But we're not keeping it for that. Not for me. There's some little bit of fill in there. A little bit of fill looks like in that V. But like I said, I'm only keeping real errors that are really very apparent. As I've already gone through the majority of my coins, like I said, and just can't keep them all. But the few that we've found, we found 3 so far that are really good keepers. So we're going to have to keep looking a little bit. That L looks a little light. It didn't hit the strike the same level. Pressure must have been a little lighter on that side. I see that a lot. It's definitely an error on these coins with the Liberty, the L and Liberty. I have a few of them that don't even have the L there, so I'll have to pull some of those out, like I said, and show you particular errors like that. Because I have a whole almost 2 rolls sitting here without the yellow tags, like I showed you. I was not doing that on every coin, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up 2020s and just call them a roll of error 2020 coins, so that I have a whole roll, not just individual ones. I'll pull out the really dominant errors and keep the rest as a roll, and tag the rest and put them in my sleeves, and but then I'll have a whole roll of 2020 error coins. All of them will have errors on them, some sort of error. So that would be kind of cool for my grandsons later in their years. They can grab that and check them out, and it might be worth something even more later, because they're 2020s. And it's definitely one of those years and no one's ever going to forget. It's going to go into history, and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids will be reading about that in history books, and about the 2020 pandemic. Unfortunately, we're making history, and as well as the election mess that's been going on this past year. Looking forward to ending here on the 14th. So I do believe that's the day that Biden will take office officially. Let's see. Like I said, I'm going to fly through these a little faster just because I'm looking for those staple errors like that. There you go. There's another one right on his forehead. Bam. You're about to go to sleep again. See that right there on the forehead? Move over here so I can make sure you're getting it. Yep, you're getting it. There you go. So that's another forehead mark. What I do is I'll probably put them together. I will probably make a whole, lot of those kind of marks, because I've got a lot of those, and I'll probably just sell a lot of those, like 10 per lot. And call it a staple error, or look it up before I sell it, but it's definitely something to them. It's pretty exciting today. I've got some fun stuff in the mail, so we're going to keep that one because we've got that nice little mark on his forehead. It's not as big as those other ones, but that's a pretty good one. You can see it pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and keep that one. We're going to call it a adverse stable forehead. That's my shorthand for myself because I know what that means. And oops, which one was that? I wrote it down next to another coin. Was it this one? Yes. And so later when I'm entering them, I'll know really kind of where to look. But when I'm taking pictures and putting them into my inventory, then I will put them back under the microscope and look at the error, make sure that I'm listing it with the right error. When I'm taking pictures, obviously I'll know what errors I'm showing for, at least, because other people might find errors that they collect that I'm not, mentioning. So like I said, everybody's got their choice of error collection. Like I said, I cannot collect them all. I would be broke. I'd have a bunch of coins I'd never want to sell or never want to give away or use. So I can't do that. I don't know if you guys can, but I do have boxes of pennies actually. But I don't feel as bad. But quarters, I just can't afford to have $500 just sitting around. And I probably do, actually. This is an off-center coin. As you can see, the top rim really tiny there. Whenever you see a tiny rim like that, you know it's going to get fatter somewhere else because it's not really a centered coin. So this one's off, much fatter down the end, and then boop, skinny up here. So this one's got some good error on that for a misalignment, but I am not keeping this. We're going to move on to find us some better ones. There's another forehead mark. See that one? This almost looks like a 2019 with all the color variation you're getting. It might be one mixed in with it right now. I thought I was in my 2020s, but this looks like a 2019 without turning it over to look. There's some more marks in his hair. Do you see that? There you go. You can see the little U shapes right in his hair, ponytail. So that's a good one. Not to mention the one up here on his forehead. So that one we're keeping. I've got lots of like nose marks, I've got chin marks, I've got neck marks, I got hair marks, we got forehead, we got everything. Those kind of marks. And we have a lot of them, so that's like I said, I'm going to probably make some lots with these and see if they sell as a lot. So there's some marks on that R for sure, and that A for sure. So let's flip over, see what's on the back. We'll be keeping this one. Sorry for my fingers in there. I tried to only use the edge, and that's just my finger barely touching it. I try to just touch the rims.